We going to see Kendrick tonight, goddammit. Turn our mic on. We going to see Kendrick tonight.
Yep, Kendrick will be performing at MetLife in New Jersey tonight.
Oh my God, we're mobbing as a family.
Yes. Oh my God, you going?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you wearing that, Charlamagne?
No.
I was gonna say because Lauren literally had that on the other day.
They share outfits.
That's my brother. We share clothes.
Y'all work at Jiffy Lube so bad.
Jiffy Lube.
I hope it don't rain though.
Well,
it's supposed to rain tonight. You know,
it's
outdoor
outside. Yeah, it's outdoor.
We not
outside.
Wait.
We not outside, but when they perform, they outside.
I was gonna say.
No, please.
It's definitely gonna rain. It's definitely gonna rain.
Thank God for Lauren's wig.
She'll cover everybody.
If Lauren wig get wet, it'll look like MetLife got a roof. It's like, damn, it's got a dome. It's got a big dome over
The roof is on fire. Let's get into the latest for I Punch Y'all in the Face.
Hey.
What?
So the news broke that we covered in front page news as well that 3 former Memphis police officers have been found not guilty in the death of Tyre Nichols. The officers were acquitted Wednesday, May 7th of all state charges, including second-degree murder. Now, as you guys remember, Tyre Nichols was beat to death, and there was video of this after an alleged traffic stop. There was like a lane change violation that they tried to say they pulled him over for. Now, I reached out to attorney Ben Crump, who is, one of the legal attorneys for the Nichols family, and he tells me, obviously, the family is devastated. This makes no sense. They did speak out in a press conference prior to this, and they said, the same thing. But my first question to him is, how is this able to happen? Everybody saw that video. We knew of the alleged, well, it's not even alleged now because they've been convicted of it and they will be sentenced for it, of them trying to cover it up and make things look different than how they actually went down. How
you
did
said
this
they
happen?
will be sentenced for it?
Yes, and I'm going to explain that. So there's state charges and there's federal charges. So even though these men were found or were acquitted on the state level, on the federal level, they still are looking at witness tampering because of all of the different things that were done in the beginning of this to try and cover up what was happening. But even with that, like in the federal case, they're looking at like probation or maybe up to 10 years in prison, but you don't know until they're sentenced. But the issue and the reason why this is problematic, even though they are looking at some time on the federal side, is that the constitutional rights that were violated, which is when we have a conversation about Tyre Nichols' death and who was responsible for that, they totally are. No one's going to be held responsible for that because even on the federal side, the charge, the harsher charge, which was that civil rights charge leading to death, was lessened to bodily injury. This is also problematic, and one of the conversations that I was having with Attorney Crump is the fact that they changed the jury. So the jury that decided on this state case was a jury from outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. They took about 8.5 hours to figure out what the verdict was going to be. And people were really upset about that because if you think
that's
about...
not a jury of your peers, if they're from out of state, right?
Exactly. So the whole jury of your peers thing was not honored according to Ben Crump and how Tyre Nichols' family feels because exactly what you said, Charlamagne, and also too, this was a predominantly white jury. So you have a predominantly white jury, and one of the conversations that I was having also with Attorney Crump is you got to think about where the administration is right now. With Trump and the whole "we love police" conversation, you put in a majority white jury to figure out what happened in this case. It's just not fair at all. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out as well too is that this is very similar to, and Attorney Crump he's so diligent in how he breaks this down. I wish he could have called in. It's very similar to what happened in the Rodney King beating when you talk about the jury and how, the prosecutors came in and said, or the defense comes in and says, we can't get a jury of a proper jury if it stays here locally because the people who live here are not going to be able to judge without a bias. And so then you bring in this other jury, and it just everything that you're looking at in a case like this has to do with a lot of the community stuff. Like, this is a black young boy. There was a lane change that happened. He was, according to how people looked at this, hunted down by this police unit. The police are saying, like, you have the state is saying, well, the police, this was a corrupt unit. I think they were called like the Scorpion unit. They're like, oh, this is a corrupt unit. They're blaming them. The police officers are saying, no, we followed the rules. So no one wants to take blame for it. And that's why, of course, people are upset because with these men, they're not going to walk completely, but just this alone is a smack in the face. Somebody lost their life.
You said that a couple times. How are they so sure that they're not going to walk completely? How are you so sure about that?
I don't know that answer myself, but according to Attorney Crump, at least 3 men will face jail time.
And they got to go to Supreme Court to try to get this case done again. But my thing is, will the Supreme Court do it? Because will the Supreme Court look at it like it was a black brother that passed away? It was a black unit. So what racism would have to do with that? You know what I mean? As far as the jury is concerned.
Oh, they're up for hate? They're not for hate?
No. Because they're basically saying it wasn't a jury of their peers. There were white people on it. So if it's not a racial play, how would that change?
You were asking, are they up for a hate crime?
No, that's what I thought Envy was saying.
No, so the only thing close to that was trying to happen is they were trying to get these men convicted on a civil rights related charge that would have been a charge related to his death. But that's what I was mentioning. That got dropped in the federal court. So even when they go to federal court, they're looking at this time still, but it's not going to be as harsh as it should be because that got dropped to violating his civil rights, causing bodily injury, not death.
And the sad thing is they let this go so long, people really forgot about it. Like what Charlamagne said earlier, like I thought this was been over.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I honestly just forgot about it.
I forgot
I can't even
about
sit here and say I thought it was over. I just literally forgot about it. I remember it being a real big deal when it first happened because in my mind, I couldn't believe that a bunch of brothers would do that to another black man. And we have so many conversations about we need more black officers who understand the black community, but so much happens in the world since 2023. I really just sadly forgot about this situation.
Yeah, and I wanted to take a minute too to shout out Christian Clark from the Biden administration because the federal charges, like the charges that are going to stick, she fought a lot to make sure that that the Tyre Nichols family would even have that to fall back on.
But why do I'm just asking. I don't know why are you so sure that these charges are going to stick on the federal level?
Let me just make this clear. The gentlemen in the case were already sentenced in federal court. They were sentenced in October of 2024.
I had no clue.
Oh, see, I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Okay. I'm sorry, not sentenced. Let me get that word right. They were convicted. We are waiting for the sentencing.
That's why you were saying that.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I was pointing
to
what will happen when the sentencing comes and how Attorney Crump was saying he believes what's going to happen, it's because they have been convicted, but it was a year ago, and people, in federal court,
gotcha.
And then the acquittals that we just learned of this week happened in a state court.
Makes all the sense in the world now.
Now it makes sense. But you see how she played it. She was like, "I thought you guys would have known, but you
already knew that."
Totally forgot about the whole case.
I mean, no, a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't even know that it was happening in 2 different courts. So moving forward, yes, we're waiting for the sentencing in the federal court. And then also, too, there's still that civil case in the Tyre Nichols situation. So I wanted to clarify that.
Gotcha.
And Tyre Nichols' birthday is coming up on June 5th. So they will be doing a big rally because they do feel like, at this point, people they don't even know that this is happening anymore. Right. So that will happen on June 5th in Memphis as well, too. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that is the latest with Lauren. When we come back, we got front page news. And then 106 in Park reunion. AJ, Roxy Diaz, and Terrence J will be here. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club. Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.